All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we give our praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Harakak, Kodash, Barakatham. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and to all the arguments across the globe, pushing the word in truth and sincerity. I want to say Shalom. This is Dianawa from the Great Millstone Campus, Chicago, with a lesson. And today's lesson, I want to title it, Art Imitates Life. And the reason why I picked this topic or this title was because I was just thinking, and I was with the brothers yesterday. We were just talking in the spirit, and we're in a society ran by Esau Edom where he uses predictive programming. He uses television. He uses the media. He uses social outlets to promote and to program the people. And the things that you see on television, the visuals that you see on social media, all right, are designed to have you react or act in a certain way. You see, we all watch television. We all watch these movies where there's a sense of connection between television and so-called reality, which is the world that we live in. And Salaki for being long-winded today, or this evening, or early this morning. It's 2:30 in the morning. But Lord, I want the lesson to be edifying and clear. So with that being said, I'm going to do a little talking before I get into the scripture to set out the format, you see, because when we're watching television, and I picked a couple of movies, all right, The Road was one, the Black Mirror episodes, and I picked The Hunger Games. All right, those are like three of my favorite, Black Mirror is one of my favorite series, and The Road is very good. I couldn't think of that movie with Batista in it where society collapsed and it was anarchy. I forgot the name of it, but point being that these three movies were very indicative of how art imitates life. Along with other movies, you have a lot of other movies that are that convey and portray the same thing. Now I'm saying that to say this is that they use a lot of sorcery, a lot of witchcraft to entice, to allure, to brainwash, to manipulate the minds of the viewer. All right? And these movies that I picked out, and really, all you gotta do is really watch the movie Black Mirror, or the episode of Black Mirror, and it just shows you all the predictive programming that you really need to understand. They talk about the chip. They talk about social credits, in which we were seeing that in China. They talk about their episode where everybody was on their cell phone recording. You see the woman in the zoo, basically type of deal. They showed about the robotic mechanical dogs, right, in which we're seeing all these things are being actually instituted in our society. You see, and in the Hunger Games, they had the haves and the have-nots. You see, the poor people had to fight for food. They were sectioned off in different zones and areas as they're breaking the world up now into FEMA camp zones, man. You see? And they had the little weird acting and looking people where you can't tell whether they're men or females. In which you see the same thing today in the trans world of America. All right, and I want to get into a few words and a few definitions. All right, and I don't know what scripture the Lord is going to put on me, but I only have a couple. And I'll start off with Isaiah 47 and 9. So I'm going to start at 8. Isaiah 47 and 8. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. All right, this is talking about America. All right, and America is a place where they have not been invaded. They have not gone to war with a foreign country on this land outside the Revolutionary War. All right, and they have sat on top of this hill, on top of this mountain, on top of this place, so the sides of the north, and have done whatsoever they will. As in you see in all these movies where America gets invaded by so-called aliens, they seem to get out of that jam. They seem always to find the terrorists. They seem to always to skate by the hair of their chinny chin chin. Well, that's the same attitude that they promote in the real world with their. Matter of fact, let's get this real quick. Shit, I messed up, but we'll get it. I was doing some research. I just want to get all this out the way, so like here. All right, not too much going on here. All right. It says it looked more stout than its fellows, right? It says Daniel 7 and 20, and the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth, spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. All right, he's talking about Esau Edom, talking about particularly America. All right, let's look at that word stout. Let me see, hold on. It says stout of a person somewhat fat or a heavy build, stout, middle-aged man, strong and thick. Let's let's try the other one. All right, stout, which means got a lot of words here. Fat, plump, portly, rotund, round, well upholstered, well-rounded, sturdy, pudgy, well-built, beefy. All right. Basically, America has gotten fat. All right. They have prospered more. All right. These Edomites here that are ruling today have accomplished more than the Romans. All right. Than the so-called Greeks. When I say the Greeks, I'm talking about Alexander and them sorts, not Japhet. All right. And so they have lived deliciously. All right. All right. They have dwelt carelessly. All right. They have done far more than those before them. All right. And their look is more stout, man. They're more proud. These are the proudest of the Edomites. All right. Verse 9, it said, but these two shall come to thee in a moment, and one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come up upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. All right, and this is what I want to get into. I want to get into the words of sorceries, okay? And I want to get into the word witchcraft, all right? And with these two words is based upon this lesson, all right? So bear with me, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying through the Spirit. Look up these words here. Now look up the word sorceries, right? And you get this. You get sorcery and you get witchcraft. Which I always hate when they give you words without the definition, because really this is not a definition, all right? So we're going to dig a little bit. Let's get into the word sorcery. All right? It says sorcery, the use of magic, especially black magic, right? Witchcraft, enchantment, spell, incantation, necromancy, divination, witching, medicine, theurgy, and a witchery. All right, and we know the scripture talk about we should not suffer a witch to live. All right, but these sorcery, this place is founded on witchcraft, on sorcery. All right, they use spells and repetition of vibrations of words. They use different but same visualizations to get you to get used to the scene and feeling of the things they want you to accept. All right, they show you things to let you know what they're working on, so to speak. All right, but these things come from what? They come from Esau's think tanks. They come from their scientists. They come from Hollywood, all right, which takes reality and puts it in a visual form on the big screen. All right. So I went to the etymology of sorcery. I'm gonna go to here what people ask. It says sorcery, the use of power gained from the assistance or control of evil spirits, especially for divining. All right. So these people have actual witches and warlocks on the left-hand side, conjuring up demons and putting those enchantments into the music, into television. All right, but these are real events. These are real people who are performing these things, and they put them around you for you to be under a spell, so to speak. There's no enchantment against Israel, but we know our Israel is not Israel. So yes, our people are susceptible to these enchantments, man, and these low vibrations of the music. All right. So I went to the so we'll find it, the etymology. There we go. Sorcery etymology. All right, it says sorcery. It says witchcraft, magic, enchantment, act or instance of sorcery, supernatural state of affairs, seemingly magical works, and we're going to get into that later on. I believe in 1 John. I believe. All right. It says. From medieval Latin, sororitas, teller of fortune by lot, sorcerer, literally one who influences fate or fortune. From Latin, source, which means lot, fate, fortune. All right? These are the word sort, right? And who really does the influencing? Well, they use they use the media. The word media goes to medium, which is a go-between between the people and the higher-ups. Those higher-ups are what? They're witches and they're warlocks, man. And they project that image on the television. All right? It says, sort, a group of people or animals, kind or variety of persons or animals, class, kind, from a Latin sortum, fate, destiny, share, portion, rank, category, sex, class, oracular, response, prophecy, from pi root, sir, to line up. All right, and that's what they do. They have an agenda. They have a playbook that they use that they don't veer from. All right. Well, if one thing doesn't work, they'll use a different celebrity. All right. If one thing doesn't work, they'll use a different course or ways or means to try to persuade or convince you. All right. To follow their agenda. That's why you keep seeing a repetitive so-called information or repetitive visual aspects or repetitive hearing of things to get you to fall in line. You see, they don't just give you little Nas X. You know, they'll give you a P. Diddy. They'll give you I don't know, a Young Thug. You know, they give you types of people that can be persuasive to the different type of people that listen to their music or watch their shows, man. All right, and these people are portrayed as regular people, man, and they're not. They're just doing the bidding of Esau Edom. They take their music, they take their imagery, all right, plaster it about the television, all right, they plaster it upon the radio, the headlines, and they create a false image, a distortion of what reality really is. And that's witchcraft, man. You see? And our people have been so far enamored by the visuals of television, of entertainment, and they take it on as real life, man. You see? The things you see on television are just a mirror image of what reality really is. You see? You look on television, you can find the example in real life. You know, you have this image about these people siding with Esau Edom in their programming. Well, you have people in reality who are siding with Esau in their programming here. You're always going to have people willing to go the extra mile, sacrifice themselves, compromise themselves, all right, to gain recognition or fame that doesn't really exist, man. You see? All right? And so I want to go on that word, witchcraft. This is interesting too. All right? Now, Lord, well, this is going to make sense. I'm going to get the scriptures, most definitely. Witchcraft, it says, the practice of magic, especially black magic, the use of spells. Children and good, okay. And they also had an etymology. It's a really root word of witchcraft. It's an Old English Wicca, we see witch, craft, power, skill. Old English witchcraft, magic from Wicca, see witch, craft, power, skill. All right? So I went to the witch. It says Old English, Wicca, female magician and sorcerers later used, especially women to have dealings with the devil or evil spirits, to be able, by their cooperation, to perform supernatural acts. All right? And what comes to mind is Gabrielle Union. What comes to mind is Erykah Badu. What comes to mind are the Kardashians. You see, these people, these so-called women, they're nothing but witches, man. You see, when they entered into the lives of these men, they've totally disrupted them, changed them upside down, And the testimony and the witness to that is their children. And the result of the men who deal with them, their mental state, which has become very, very fragile. All right? You look at the movie Charmed, The Witches of Eastwick. You see, it's kind of older movie. I'm kind of dating myself. But the point being is that you see these movies being played out. But the scriptures talk about these witches, man. They talk about these enchantments, the Jezebel spirits. All right, this woman worship vibration that's going on. All right, and this is also being played out in art form. That movie with Angelina Jolie, where she wore that big old horn on her head, and she was a witch. You know, even on a smaller scale, you look at Frozen, man, where they show the magical powers. All right, those enchantments and spells. You see, all this is really played out in
McMillan, Sergeant Ever, come in.
So like I'm at work, and these things are actually played out on screen, but they happen in real life, man. You see, you got people nowadays getting more into voodoo. They're getting more into black magic, and they're making it acceptable when you see it laid out on the screen, on television, man. All right? It's the word that really got me. It's the word craft. It says Old English craft. Let me see if I can turn this down.
Go.
It says power, physical strength, might. All right? And the power they have is that they're able to broadcast it, which is another term they use, broadcasting, all right, which alludes to them casting a spell in a broad manner, which means they use the lines of the internet, of television, and it goes all across the world, man, where everybody in the world is taken by the sorceries and witchcraft of this place, man. All right, which is what? Which is Babylon. All right. Okay, and this is all part of Esau's illusion of reality. You see, they take things that happen in life, the protesting, the uprising of the people, and you see that in all these type of movies, where the Book of Eli, the brother used, the Road, even the apocalyptic movies, all right, they come from the scriptures, man. All right, when they dropping bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, you seeing them drop bombs in places in Syria, and look at the movies, man. You see, Saving Private Ryan, how they go in there and invading lands that have nothing to do with them, man. You see, there's plenty of movies that you could look in the scriptures and look in real life in the history of America and be like, hey, this is a direct correlation, man. You see? The things that you see on television are going to be played out in reality on a much larger scale, because Yahweh outside said there's going to be days that never before been. So you're going to see all these things playing out. You see, they had movies of E.T. back in the day, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. When in all actuality, they know, and they know about the chariots. They know about the angels, man. But you're so blinded by the enchantments and the spells that you don't believe nor understand that this is reality, man. There's going to be famines. There's going to be lack of water. There's going to be uprisings of society, man. You see? You're going to see those super soldiers, those robotic dogs, these things and its who have transformed their bodies opposite of what the Lord made them, man. You see, there's going to be all these type of things that you're seeing around America and around these other places, the famine, the concentration camps. You see, those things are really going on in the world, and they're portrayed in the way of entertainment, which is what? Which is witchcraft, man. Which is sorcery, man. And they're performed by high-level warlocks and witches, which run our media and which run the entertainment industry, man. All right? And I'm going to get into the word imitate. Sorry for being long-winded, but, it's the way the Lord got it right now. I'm going to get the word imitate. Let's get this first. The etymology of imitate, a back formation for imitation or imitator, or else from Latin imitatus, past participle of imitare, to copy, portray. All right? To copy or to portray. All right, let's not get that. Let's get this. It means to copy. Well, who does the copying? All right, it's Esau Edom. All right, he's the one that's doing this copying, this imitation. You see, art imitates life. You see, they say the copy, right? They say he sits in the seat as the Most High. How you word is it? So he sits at the Most High. It's a good. This ain't the one I want though. Let's see if I could cross-reference. Oops, like I don't want that. How I word it escapes me now. I know it's in the New Testament. There we go. Thawada Abba. All right. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right, so even these movies try to portray how the Lord is going to come back or what the end of the world is and things like that. All right, none of those things are going to come, all right, until the man of sin be revealed. And he's been revealed now. So those things that we're seeing, hey, they're starting to play out. You're starting to see the fall of society and what they predicted and programmed and put on the big screen, man. You're starting to see the uproars of the people. You're starting to see the famine. You're starting to see the implementation of the RFID microchip, which you can clearly watch, and it's been exposed in all types of movies, man. All right? And I encourage brothers to watch the whole series of Black Mirror if you haven't. All right? But now we know who's doing this high-level witchcraft and sorcery is Esau Edom. All right? He's the one that's portraying himself to be a prophet or a so-called God, okay? Verse 4, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, sits in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is a God, man. Are you trying to copy the Lord? All right? This reality that we're living in, this false narrative of reality that we're living in, is a poor construct, is a poor rendition of a power, man. You see, all Esau has done was manipulate what's already been here. You see, he takes what the Lord has already done, and he manipulates it and he puts it out as his reality. You see, Esau, which is powered by Satan, which is controlled by the Lord. All right, he's the ultimate warlock, man. All right, he's not a power. All right, he tries to copy the creation that the Lord has already put here, man. All right. So I want to get in there. I'm gonna get into Ephesians, the 2nd chapter. Ephesians, I'm going to start at 1 and say, and you have he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins, where in times past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience, man. All right, and we did walk in the ways of this world. We did walk in the image and in the ways of Esau's reality. We were plugged into the matrix. You see? When you watch the movie The Matrix, all right, you had Art being the one plugged in, you know, when Neo was in the going through them programs, and you know, he was teaching him how to jump. All right, but before that, he just thought that was regular life. You see? That's how we were plugged in. We thought this was regular life. We thought it was living to accept the ways of Esau, Edom, and his lifestyle. We were once under the spell of Esau, Edom. But now that we don't walk according to the world, according to the prince of the power of the air, right? That broadcasting, okay, that broadband, all right, being plugged into all his shows and his media, believing in all the things that he put out there that believe to be true, that this is going to be acceptable, that we're going to live in a dictatorship, a totalitarian society, a communist society, a capitalistic society that they want to continue. It's not going to continue, man. Okay? Although Esau puts it out there in his media and his politics and his headlines and his music and whatever outlets that he uses to his propaganda to keep people locked in and to obey, it's not going to work. All those happy endings in those movies, hey, that's not reality. You see, Esau's not going to come out on the winning end of this, man. Bruce Willis is not going to save the planet, man. You see? They're not going to use broken down F-16 fighters to destroy the fathership, man. You see? There's no Keanu Reeves, all right, saving the planet, man. Tom Cruise ain't saving the world, man. You see? All right? And not being plugged into that, it allows you to see the reality of what's really going on, man. All right? We are no longer under the control of the prince of the power of the air, which is who? Esau, Edom. You see? For John 2:15, it said, "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes, the pride of life is not of the Father, but of the world," man. See, all of these are just illusions, man. All right? Or the pride of life, these are all just illusions, man. It's not going to get better. You having money is not going to save you. You digging into these bunkers like they show you on, I forgot the name of that movie, where they took that ship and then anchored into the side of the mountain. Hey, that's not going to save you, man. You see? You're not going to be able to fly to outer space and get away from these nuclear missiles, man. You see? Although Esau built it, man, let's get that real quick. Although Esau shows you that they're taking these trips to the outer space and all these things trying to escape judgment, it's not going to happen. That space station is not going to be safe. All right? And I just lost my train. Oh, yeah. Nest amongst the stars. Obadiah 1:4. Damn, I'm going to get Habakkuk too. Obadiah 1:4, it says, though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. You see, Esau got this space station, the new Space Force, all right, and they're getting people to invest into taking trips to outer space to this remote planet or wherever they got going on up there, trying to escape the judgment of the Lord, but it's not going to work. All right? Star Trek is not going to be your heaven, Esau. All right? It's not going to come to fruition. You can make all the movies you want about escape on Earth and life after the apocalypse. And the only life you're going to have after the so-called apocalypse is going into slavery for 1,000 years and being destroyed. You see? They'll never show you a movie where Esau is destroyed. They'll never make a movie without Edomites, a world without Edomites. You know why? Because it's not entertaining. You see? Because when Yahweh Shai rules, there's going to be peace. There aren't going to be any guns. There isn't going to be any violence or killing or murdering or sodomy or confusion of gender. You see? All right? Although you may see it going on now, although you may look around and be like, man, this is going to be on forever. Hey, no, it's not. You see? That sorcery, that witchcraft, those enchantments, hey, they're getting broken down, man. Habakkuk 2:9 says, woe to him that coveteth in evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil, man. You see? Hey, you're not going to get delivered from the power of bad times. You see, there is no happy ending, man. You see? Your art, all right, is not going to be, it's not going to have the ending that you think it's going to have, man. You see? This place is going to get destroyed by thermonuclear fire. All right, when I say this place, I'm talking about America, which is Babylon, which is Egypt, which is Sodom, which is Gomorrah, which is Nineveh, which is Assyria. You see? Which is Tyrus. You see? There's no end for this place, man. What you see on television is not going to be what you get, man. The end of this place is going to be smoke. Let's get that. Let's get this in second edges. I'm going to close it on that. Second edges 13. Oh, man. Wow. Start at 6. Start at 5. Second edges 13 and 5. I'm starting at 6. Second edges 13 and 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. A great mountain is the fathership, man. All right, NASA's cutting feeds, all right, of the chariots. All right? That's part of the art that Esau don't want you to see, man. All right, he showed you the chariots in the movies that they're going to be able to defeat the Lord. Hey, that's not going to happen, man. Yeah, they see the chariots, they know they're real, they know the capabilities, all right? But they distort reality by thinking that, by putting out there that you could beat, that they could beat the Most High, man. It's not going to happen. But I would have seen the graven, but I would have seen the region or place wherewith the hill, whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. Now to this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore fretting at this fight. And all you gotta do is watch Independence Day, man. You see? Watch Independence Day. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, or any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, and as it had been, a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath. And out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon the sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. All right? That's going to happen to the Valley of Jehoshaphat, all right, which is over there in the Middle East. Israel and America is going to get obliterated, man. This is the ending they don't show you. This is the reality. This is the art that they don't want to imitate life about, man. This is the part of life that they don't want to imitate the art about because it doesn't have no place for them. There's no coming back from this, man. Your end, Babylon end, is what? Burning and the smell of smoke, man. And nobody's going to be left. There isn't going to be no more bands of people riding around in trucks, all right, salvaging and scourging, what's that word? Scavenging for food and parts, man. You see? That's not going to happen. So with that, I want to say, Call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Till next time, Shalom and a Bible ball.